Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hello.
Welcome. This is Michelle Green and the KBBU team. Hello, how are y'all? Listen, we are doing Kingdom Builders Business University behind the scenes. If you haven't been watching us, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are super excited because tonight we talked about business and life management, and we are speaking from a perspective of entrepreneurship. So if you are entrepreneur, you're thinking about entrepreneurship, guess what? You can come to KBBU, Kingdom Builders Business University. We can help you with every solution that a business owner will encounter, from the rooter to the tutor. Am I right, coaches? Hey! Yes, so let's get into tonight's class. We just had a class that is runs from semester to semester. So at the beginning of the year, and then again August through December. And we just finished our business and life management class, our very first class for this quarter, for this course. And so we are super excited to get into what our conversations was about tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Coach Cornell because he is our business management coach. So let me see, Coach, what you got for us tonight? What you want to tell the people in the world?
Well, I'm here and I witnessed a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people eyebrows was like going up in the air, and man, it was beautiful. But I like seeing stuff like that. But anyway, um, I'll tell you, Michelle, when you talk about the time management, know, I'm gonna let you explain the end of it, because I'm gonna use a little jargon here that only we know. When you discuss the 8 to 10, and that's the time we're supposed to be like, I think it was around that time, 8 to 9 or something like that. We're supposed to be actually trying to, what's the word I want to use here?
Actively doing our work, doing our thing.
Well, we want to try something new, and we stick with the same thing, if you said something like, hey, if you stick with the same thing, that means you ain't trying to better yourself. And
Oh,
you're in a position to die. So that kind of like scared me a little bit, because around 8 to 10, but 8 to 10, I do the same thing every night. I need to do something different. I need to pick up a book or do something to put some other information inside of my head, because I ain't ready to die.
oh, okay. I
So
remember what you're talking about.
explain that for me a little bit.
So what I was saying is that we have a time slot, and at the end of our day, in our time slot as entrepreneurs, especially, we tend to just kind of sit and watch our favorite show, Netflix binge or whatever we do, eat a bunch of snacks that we ain't supposed to be eating. you know, we kind of like wind down our day the same way we would when we were on a job. And as entrepreneurs, especially those of us who are trying to go full time as entrepreneurs, we got to understand that every single hour of our day has to be structured, it has to be aligned and in order. So, what I was saying in the class tonight is that we need to use that time for personal development. We need to be able to prepare our minds for changing, not just doing the same thing over and over again, thinking we're going to get a different result. And if we're not willing to make the changes, like I told the class tonight, Cornell, is that there is an opportunity for us to just basically just go ahead and check out of this life. Because if we're not learning and growing and changing, it means that we're refusing to be better. We're refusing to make a difference in our business, but also in our personal life. And if we're doing the same thing over and over again, we cannot grow, we cannot expand, we can't change, we can't be the people who we need to be in this world. So I like that point that you brought out, because it's so crucial that we understand that we're really preparing for death when we don't change. When we refuse to be the people who God has called us to be, then we are just hanging it up on the shelf. We're just saying, okay, well, I already know I done been through this and I done been through that. I done did this, I done did that. I got a t-shirt for that. But then we choose not to change, to grow and renew our minds with new information and to be able to adjust with this day and time that we're in. And it allows us to just be stagnant. And we're wondering why we're procrastinating. We're wondering why we are staying in the same spot and we cannot grow. It's because change is inevitable. We have to understand that as people, we are going to have to change. Like life is forever changing. We were kids, we were in our 20s, we were in our 30s, we might still be in our 30s or 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever age we are, there was a change that happened through every single stage. Every single stage, there was a change. So that's what I was referring to tonight. Thank you for pointing that out. That was a really
Thank
good
you for
point.
explaining it because you explained it beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, as entrepreneurs, we cannot just keep the same cycle of our lives. And even in business, you know, your business is going to change. Look at what's happening in the world today. We are changing into an artificial intelligence world. And that's what many of us are refusing to change. So, therefore, we are being stuck in the past and we cannot move forward doing the things that we are supposed to be doing. That I love that point. I really do. I can talk about that all day. All right, can we have Dr. Mary? Is she still with us? Okay, Doris, can you go next?
Yeah, I was gonna actually say, can I go next? Because I actually have something I wanna say regarding continue with that with the topic of change. I was actually listening to a message today and was talking about I can't remember the word, but it was talking about how when we start something new, how our uh minds, our brain don't like change, right? Because we
It
have
doesn't.
been, we are, the brain is accustomed to wanting to keep us safe. So whatever that we are used to as comfortable as good, considering our old habits, that's what we the brain wants to keep repeating and want us to keep going in that same motion. But change, so when we do decide to change, it's like war, because um we are doing something new and wanting to comparing it with the word of God. The flesh is war, because our flesh wants to do what is opposite from the spirit, what God wants us to do. So as entrepreneurs, we just really have to be, I think Dr. Mary said it tonight in the class, we have to be intentional. I mean,
Yes.
it boils down to being intentional about how we go about our life, because people don't really realize. And this, when I say war, is war, because for me, I fought with this for the longest. I fought with this because my mind will always like go back to I'm thinking like, because I believe too the society also tells us that change is not good, you know.
Yep.
Like you have to the what we get sold on is happiness and peace of mind is really just doing doing what feels good, right?
Yes.
That is what the world teaches. But when you come in business, you realize real quick, that's not how that works, because in order to truly experience freedom, you have to be willing to do what it takes. So overall, there was a lot of information that was said in the class. For me, I think I saw myself, especially in the business management part. There were
Mhm.
certain areas there I was like, oh, okay, that explains why there are certain results. There are certain results, but it's very crucial. It's very crucial to really it comes down to really getting someone to guide you and lead you in the right path, because it's not an easy thing. You need a community of people to keep going, keep moving forward, because the outside, the world out there, the outside world, they are not teaching you this, So
No.
KBBU, I mean, is just phenomenal. The information and what the students is learning, what the coach, we're discovering, every time we get something new, get something profound. It's really good. And I encourage anyone, like, if you're watching, to really, there's the number there, but honestly, this is beyond your expectation. Let me just say that.
Thank you, Doris. Thank you. I love what you said about the fact that, we are competing. I have a mentor, and he always talks about there is one seat in your mind, and that only one side of your mind can take that seat. So it's like you're always competing from the negative and the positive for that seat. Who's going to sit on the top of
Who's
that
gonna
crown of
win?
your head? Who's going to
Mhm.
win? So it is a battle of the minds, the battle of going back in the past and just repeating that cycle over and over again. Or do we have enough creativity? I've been told that studies have shown that our memory is about as small as like a little marble. And then our creativity is bigger than this whole earth. So why is it that we are so stuck on that little marble of our minds and the things that have happened in our past?
Mm.
Why are we so stuck into that mindset that we can't do anything different? Like, that's crazy to me. So you're right. We are always constantly competing. And that's why the word of God clearly tells us that we have to renew our minds. We have to get new information every day. We have to do something different every day. One of my daughters, she says that she wants to do something that surprises her or either causes her to be scared every day. So either one or the other. Every day she takes a chance for something that will surprise her or something that she's afraid of that she will actually go forward to do, so that she is not staying in that same mindset that causes us to get older, and then we just kind of give up on life because we feel like ain't nothing else there for us to do. When we're talking about the kingdom of God, when we're talking about the things that we teach at Kingdom Builders Business University, these things are things that will keep you here on earth. It will help you to live out your whole life expectancy. So your life expectancy, if it's 120 years, then it's going to catapult you into staying here and doing what it is that your life is purpose for. That's why we do what we do at KBBU. That's why it's so different than any other university, any other business school, any other business consulting class. That's why we're unique and different. That's what sets us apart, because we're going to be teaching you from a perspective of creativity. We're going to teach you from a perspective of where are you going to be in the next 5, 10, 20, 15 years. We're going to talk about how to cultivate those things, but we're going to start with the end first, and then we're going to begin. But that's how we manage. We begin to manage our lives. We think about managing our personal life and our business life. And how do we fit all of these relationships from our spouses or our significant other to our family members, parents and children and grandchildren, or if grandparents or aunties, uncles, cousins, friends, siblings. How do we fit all of that into our business life as entrepreneurs? Those are the kind of things that we are talking about in this business management class. Where does it go? Does it come first? Does it come second? Does it come third? People always told me God first, family second, business third. But the way that business is taught in the world of entrepreneurship, it is completely rearranged. And most of the time, it's business first, and then maybe a little bit family here and there, and then everything else, God, and everything else is third. It's not in the order that we say it's supposed to be in, and we're not exercising that because we don't have really good management skills. Okay, I ain't gonna teach again. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. Can I go ahead and have Dr. Tina, can you share with us what you got from tonight's class or anything new that you want to bring up?
Well, basically, as business owners, we come in with the pie in the sky mentality.
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah. And so you look at TV shows and movies of everything fast forwarded, because you know a movie is about an hour and a half, TV show about 25 minutes tops. So you don't see the in between of what it took for someone to be able to achieve that level of success. Well, success is something that we have to understand that it will always be under construction. Just like a business, we have to consistently work and manage on our personal life as well as our business life. And as we grow, as things change, as the uncertainty arise, we're going to have to learn how to pivot, move, jump, twist and turn in order to still reach the destination that we had in mind in the beginning. But the thing what happens is people get so caught up in this fakeness of riches. I tell you, hear so many business owners that want to be rich, want to be rich, want to be rich.
I want to be rich.
Yeah, you want to be rich, but you don't want to do what it takes in order to acquire the money in order to maintain it. But I tell people, I don't have the desire to be rich. I have the desire to be wealthy, which is two different things. Wealth is a combination of your health, your spirituality, mentally, physically, your family, and your business. Everything is wrapped up in one. And so when you understand the difference of it, then you can start being able to manage your life and your business the way that God intended you to do it. So anytime you feel like you're frustrated, anytime you feel like things are not going the way that you want it to go, are you constantly working in your head? I need to speak to you. I don't know who this needs to be, but I'm getting to feel like the spirit in the move. Listen, all you that's working in your head, because speaking from a reformed person who worked in her head for so many years, that is the worst thing that you can do for yourself in any aspect of your life, whether it's personal or business, because your brain, you're going to start forgetting. You're going to miss things. You're going to miss steps. And those missteps is going to cause you to have to redo and rework things that you shouldn't have to do, right? And so this class really helped fortify me, as well as I know the students, is we have to do what the Bible says, where write it down and make it plain.
Yes.
We have to get used to it, even though we have all this technology, and I'm totally for you guys learning to work all this new technology, okay? However, it's something that will never get old. It's pen and paper. You have to learn to get the thoughts out your head, write it down, and map out your life. Anything that is worth having is worth the planning in order to have it. And so with this, I have to insert everything in my daily plan. I even have to insert me taking breaks, because I get so hyper focused when I'm working throughout the day that I can sit and work for hours and don't even realize it. So I literally have to set timers. I have to block in my schedule to take breaks, to wind down. So I would just say, for ones who have not developed the muscle yet of writing down the schedule, you need to do it. Give yourself grace, because you're not going to be perfect with it ever. Understand that your management, as well as your personal business life, is always something that is under construction, which means you're going to consistently have to work on it. And take it one step at a time. If it's a big step, big goal, break it down in smaller steps until you're able to manage the entire goal. And stop comparing yourself to others and work on one step at a time. If you only manage to get one thing done, then you need to celebrate yourself, because you didn't have that done yesterday.
Right?
Learn to
celebrate your small steps, and those small steps will equal the big milestones that we all love, like the awards, the financial gain, the growth in business, success in relationships and personal life. Okay, but it took a lot of small steps before you reach that. So don't undermine the small steps. Give yourself grace, break things down in smaller steps, and don't give up, because distractions is the killer of dreams.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Come on. I got some snaps for you. Let's go. Let's go. I'm like Cornell, let's clap. Okay. Now, there are a couple of things that you said there, and I just wanted to share with the class as well as all of these millions and billions of people who are watching. When I was doing my whole schedule out, I didn't actually, like I was telling the class, I would always work through bathroom breaks and lunches. And I would just keep going. So sometimes I forget to use the restroom. That causes health issues. That causes health problems, y'all. We cannot just sit there and just continue to work because we got this hustle mentality that we can do all things. Yeah, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, but he also give us common sense. So instead of you sitting there and you about to pee on yourself, yes, I did say that in the public to all of y'all millions of people. Instead of you sitting there and you got about to use the bathroom on yourself, like Dr. Tina is saying, take a freaking break. Schedule your break in your calendar and make sure you're following your schedule. Don't stray away from your schedule. Stick to the same thing that you are supposed to be doing per day. It is so crucial because so many times as business owners, people who are just managing our family life, even our own personal life, we forget to eat, we forget to get some water to drink, we forget to do all of these things that are just natural things that we shouldn't be forgetting. So if we have to put it on the calendar, it's going to relieve us from the things that we got to remember. And that's going to give us room to make more creativity in our brains. So I love that you pointed that out. That was so good, Dr. Tina. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, and now, Coach Preston, what you got here? What you learned tonight? What you want to share to make us laugh? Take it on home, because I know you got some jokes. I know you got some.
Give it to him, Preston.
Just a little one today.
Just one. No, what I got from listening to everybody in the lesson, you have to have a good understanding of your work rest cycle. And we had Cornell probably heard, he heard this before we were in the military together. We had a phrase called slight discomfort, no pain, right? You have to get yourself in a position, a mindset. This is for everybody out there listening, because KBBU is the place to go, right? You have to get yourself in a mindset. Like Dr. Tina said, you got to work for them goals. Celebrate them goals, right? When you get there, celebrate, but don't get carried away. And here's my good example. It was a football game, professional game, and this guy got a crucial sack. He ran down the field celebrating, not realizing he had to get back to the play. He got so caught up celebrating, he forgot to do the work.
Ooh.
Right? He got so caught up just out there, just throwing up. They had to run and get back. We got to line up again, right? So don't let that happen, okay? And it is perfectly fine to celebrate. It is perfectly fine to have schedules, I've sat in this chair so long that my rear end is numb, right? Sometimes you got to stand up. Everybody laughing because y'all did it too. You got to stand up. You got to walk off for a minute, right?
You're right.
Even if you could be sitting here and you be frustrated, have a brain cramp. You just stuck on something. Walk away from the computer. If you're stuck on something, and especially if you get angry about something too, walk away. Come back.
Break.
Take a break. Yeah, take a break. Just take a fresh perspective on what you're doing, right? And my shout out to the KBBU and the behind the scenes. For anybody who's out there watching, Doris said this earlier, if you are going through failure, all right, the worst thing you can do is fail by yourself, all right? Have a second or third person, comfort you, critique you, support you, somebody there, right? Because it's frustrating when you're trying to do something that just ain't happening for you, like you're trying to bake a cake and it just ain't coming out right, Call your mama. Call somebody. Call an expert. That's what I'm getting at. Call an expert. Call a subject matter expert. Somebody with exposure, experience. Talk to them, right? They will tell you something. It can be in casual conversation, but they'll say something that you didn't really wasn't focused on. It'll click. You off to the races again, okay? I do it all the time. I give a shout out to my original sponsor, to KBBU, Miss Jaquisha, because she did that to me. We were talking. I was real frustrated when I first started. I started late, remember?
Yes.
She wasn't trying to mentor and guys. She was just talking, and she said something. I was like, "Oh man!" I mean, like she said, "See all my chicken scratch. You can't see my paper. All my chicken scratch on my paper. You can't see my paper." Right? There you go. All of this. It looks like a bunch of gibberish and Latin and calculus, but I can tell you everything on here. Okay. And I got stacks of paper right in front of me because Dr. Tina was right. All the technology in the world. If you can't write your thoughts down, because I have amazing thoughts at like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's just you can never tell when you're gonna have that breakthrough or that bright idea, that eureka moment. So you gotta always be ready, always be prepared. We can help you do that at this school, Kingdom Builders Business University. We can help you do that. All right. So that's me. I'm giving my public service announcements tonight. But your work rate cycle, yeah, and then just if you're gonna do something, do it well. Nobody look forward to second place. Be number one in what you do, right? Go out there and get it done, right? Who look forward to being mediocre? I don't.
I know that's right.
I can give you this right now. While I was sitting here in class and just now, I just realized I got to give myself a little celebrated shout out. In my travel company, when you hit a certain threshold, when you hit $5,000, you get an I-10 credential. I have amassed enough commission to get my 5th credential, and I ain't even got awarded the 4th one yet. Right?
Wow, that's amazing.
One.
Congratulations, Preston.
And like I said, when I sit down, when Michelle, Dr. Tina, Cornell, Doris, when I sit here and work, I get it done. But the exact opposite, when I'm sitting here loafing around, I make all the bread you can find, boy, just straight loafing, right? That's my joke for tonight.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Preston, for the jokes. I do want to go back to something that you said is very crucial when it comes to business and life management. I don't think that many of us are really conscious. Like you said, there's a time for us to consistently do the same thing over and over again. One of my mentors, he always talked about how you're going to do a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and then an explosion happens. But most of us don't ever get to the explosion because we're not doing the little bit consistently over and over again. What we do is we just do a little bit and then we stop and quit and say, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm done. So we never ever get to that point of celebrating. We never get to the point where we got that big opportunity, that big break that we've been praying about, that we've been believing that was going to happen, because we quit in the process. We quit too soon in the process. So, and the other part on the back end of that is that after we celebrate, one of my other mentors, Dr. Miles Monroe, he said that we should never get so comfortable with our successes to think that we have arrived. We should never get so comfortable with our successes that we don't understand that we need to get back into the process. We got to get back into, okay, yeah, you elevated to the next level, but that's not your best. Your best is always your next. Your best is always you going to that next level. You being able to go through the process, managing the business, managing your life, putting it all together, making it work, being the same person that you are in business as you are in your personal life, and vice versa, because that's another thing that we tend not to do. We tend to be somebody different in business and at work than we are at home. And when we have these different kinds of mindsets, these different personalities start popping up, and then they kind of cross-reference. And then people are like looking at you sideways because they're like, wait a minute now. I didn't know you acted like that. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know that was you. Okay. And then it becomes a problem in your business. So you need to be consistent, is what I'm saying. On the back end, once you celebrate, don't just think that that's your end goal. You still got a long ways to go. For your entire life, you as a business owner, especially, have a whole journey of livelihood as a business owner. That's what you've been called to do. So we cannot just stop and celebrate and forget about it, like you told in that example, Preston, of how the guy, he was so consumed with being able to celebrate, and he's so happy and excited, and we just going at it, and we just all hyped up. But we forget about the fact that we just elevated from one level to another. Now it's time to get back on it, and the time to take the steps, to take the step by step, the growth. It is slow. Growth is slow, but change is instant. Growth is slow, but change is instant. What am I saying? I'm saying that literally you can change your life in a moment, within the blink of an eye. But that process for you to grow, it's going to take some time. And you better have a schedule. You better have your life managed so well that you are able to reach that point of success and keep on growing until you take your last breath. That's what it's about, y'all. That's what being an entrepreneur is about. That's what KBBU teaches all of our students here. This is what all of the coaches are talking about. We are consistently learning and growing and changing. We're having those aha moments. We having success, but it is a journey. It's a process. And you're not going to be in celebratory time mode all the time. You can't be walking around waiting for that next celebration. I know some people who, and I ain't talking about nobody, but I'm just saying, I know some people who always want to go to the next celebration. They always want to go to show that they always celebrating. They always doing something big. But ain't nobody on the face of this earth, if you real with yourself, that's always in celebratory mindset. You're not always in a celebratory status. That means that you're not always in that high end status. Roller coaster rides is for the real entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, you go up, you go down. That's just how life is. But that's a part of the journey. We were never supposed to be all high. That's not realistic. That's not a reality. That's not a truth. And whoever is trying to portray that that's the way life is, that's a lie. Okay? That is a lie, y'all. So stop believing the hype. We got to understand that we are human beings, and there is only so much we can do in a 24-hour period. And we need, like you said, Preston, to make that thing count. Now, we're about to end tonight. I hope that y'all got some good nuggets from the KBBU behind the scenes. Is there any other coaches that want to share anything, any last remarks or comments? If not, hey, Cardell, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go.
As a business owner, you're always going to run into problems. You just got to know what to do when those problems occur. Now, you come on down to KBBU, we're going to fix you up. We're going to make sure you have everything. You have that in your tool belt. So when those problems do arise, then you can go in your tool belt and handle it. Some people don't have that option. Come on and get this option at KBBU. There's a number. There's an email. Do what you got to do to get your business set. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's right. I mean, he's right, because so many people, they don't have mentorship. They don't have people that are really willing to work with them and have their best interests at heart. You know, they want to take from you, but they don't want to give you anything. You know, there are a lot of people who, you know, not willing to teach you what it is that they know, even though they've been promising you over and over again. You don't have to worry about none of that here, because we all are in this together. Whether you in the trenches, you down and out, or whether you at your high and you celebrating, no matter what stage you're at, no matter where you are in business, we are here for you today, tomorrow, as long as there's breath in my body and this company is going on. I'm telling you, KBBU is here for you. So join today. You see the number 855-522-8552, or go to our website, www.kbbullc.com. And is there anybody else before we close out? Y'all good? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it so much. Make sure you are set your subscription with KB. Michelle Green with the YouTube channel. Make sure you got your notification on so you never miss an opportunity to hear us when we go live. Because you never know. We might pop in on a Tuesday. We might pop in on a Friday. We might pop in on a Wednesday during the day. You never know. So make sure you don't miss us by making sure you're subscribed. Tell a friend, like and share. Comment down below what you got from today's video, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much again, and have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.